a rate of change. So this is the crux which you want to carry with the meaning of differentiation. And derivatives have a range of applications to various disciplines, not only to business and economics, but to the social sciences, to the physics, engineering. And one of the primary interpretation of this derivative is its application as a rate of change concept. And that application trigger many ways of using derivatives in science and engineering as well as social sciences. So you will find its application, you will find the application of derivatives in business, in economics, in social sciences, physics, engineering, and in many subjects. So let us start with its first application, where we try to understand it as a rate of change, and we'll do it by applicating it to the increasing and decreasing function. So this is going to be your topic of today, first topic, increasing and decreasing functions. What is this increasing and decreasing functions? So fundamentally we must understand that if it's a graph, and here we have a curve like this, and there is another graph, and we have another curve like this. We must understand where this curve is increasing or where this curve is decreasing. Why? Because if you are working on your cost system, you will work towards the decreasing of cost function. You always try to minimize your cost function, and you always try to maximize your revenue function. You always try to maximize your sales function. So as a businessman, you must be having some functions and your desired direction of that function to behave in that particular manner. Now when you say one particular thing is increasing, if I say that this cost is increasing, it means that the next cost will always be higher than the previous cost. Will always be higher than the previous cost, and it means the change in the cost will be a positive one. So that is how we are trying to integrate the event of increasing and decreasing as a rate of change. So we are defining this increasing, decreasing, this fluctuation in the form of rate of change, and we know that this rate of change is nothing but the derivative, differentiation or derivative. You call it as a derivative of the function. So this derivative has to do something, has some relationship, has some impact with this increasing and decreasing function. So this increasing decreasing sometimes also known as downward sloping, upward sloping. So that is one and a same thing. Downward slope, upward slope. Sometimes you call it as increasing slope, decreasing slope. So these are just different terms to define the same thing. So let's move towards the practical session. Let's move towards the practical question to understand this concept. Now suppose if there is a question given, if there is a equation, there is a function given as 2x cube minus 9x square plus 12x, and we need to find the intervals where this particular function is increasing or decreasing. And you will say how this problem is related with the business, how this is related with business or economics. So let us consider, let us assume that this particular function is a production function. Let's just assume it a production function. So what we are going to do is, we are assuming it to be a production function. Now the producer is interested in knowing the value of x, be it a input quantity, be it cost, or be it any variable which is impacting your production. So this is production, total production impacted by the inputs, raw materials, so whatever it is. So the producer wants to know the number of x, the value of x, which will increase or keep increasing your production function, and which will keep on decreasing your production functions. So the producer is interested in knowing the increasing and decreasing function at what intervals of x. So what we will do here is, firstly, this is the total production function, and we will try to find out its derivative, its change. So what we will do, we will differentiate your function with respect to x. Why x? Because we want the value of x. Change in this production function is caused by x. There is no other variable, there is no other independent variable. So we will differentiate this function and we will get the value like f dash x would be 6x square minus 18x plus 12, and we can simplify this as 6x square minus 3x plus 2. Next thing is, we need to determine whether f dash x means change in this function, change in total production function, is negative or positive. So this is the slope of your function, this particular function f dash x is explaining the slope. हमें ये पता करना है कि ये इंक्रीजिंग है डिक्रीजिंग है, किस किस वैल्यू पे इंक्रीजिंग डिक्रीजिंग हुआ. तो फर्स्टली वी नीड टू सेट सम स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड वी से दैट पुट this f dash x is equal to 0 to get the intervals. So when we put this value, this function as 0, so we get the value of x as, so x square minus 3x plus 2, then we do the factor of this. I hope you remember how to do the factors. So this will be x square minus x minus 2x plus 2. So we have just re-represented this into this. When we simplify this, it will become this. We take common x minus 1 minus 2 x minus 1. So we have got two values, x minus 2 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have now two values of x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 1. So the two intervals are, when we make a number line, say this is say 1, and this is say 2. So this is 1 and this is 2. So whatever is behind 1 can be minus infinite, and this will be plus infinite. So now we have three intervals. One is this interval, second is this interval, and the third is this interval. So one interval is your minus infinite comma 1, 2 is your 1 comma 2, and the third interval is your 2 comma plus infinite, 2 comma plus infinite. And what we do, we just put any value from this interval, any value from this interval, any value from this interval to check the change in total production function. So by putting the values, like we put any value less than 1. So let's put the value of 0. So when we put, so we have the function like this, 6 x minus 1 and x minus 2. This was the change in total production function. This is the slope. And when we put 0, which falls in this interval, in this function, what we get? We get minus 1 and minus 2, minus 1 and minus 2. So this will become a positive one. It means the function is increasing, it is positive, the slope is positive at this interval. So when the x value of x is operating under this interval, when the value of x is operating under this interval, the slope of total production function is increasing. So this is the slope of total production function, this is increasing, this is positive. So this is increasing. Let's put the value in this function, any value between these 1 and 2. So when you put 1.5, you'll see that you are getting negative value. Why negative? Because 1.5 will give you positive 1 here is, and 1.5 will give negative 1 here is. So positive multiplied by negative will give you negative value. It means it is decreasing. So at this level it is decreasing, and at this level you will find it is increasing. So these are three different intervals at which your function is behaving accordingly. So we say that this production function or the f(x) given in the equation is increasing at minus infinite comma 1 and 2 comma plus infinite, and this f(x) is a decreasing function at 1 comma 2. So this is the complete solution of your question. So that's how we deal with the increasing and decreasing function things. Important thing is you should understand the factorization here, and this is the question which is already given to you, but sometimes you will not have such equation so simple. You will be giving a word problem and you need to formulate that word problem into this particular equation. That will be complete application of your differential calculus. Next point which I want to discuss with you is another important concept. So we will not discuss the concavity here, we will discuss the maxima and minima here. What is local maxima, local extrema or minima here? So next topic, this topic is your local maxima and local minima. Some people call it as extrema also. What is this? So, this particular concept talks about the high points and the low points on a curve which is technically known as maximum and minimum values. So, this particular concept, it talks about the high points and the low points where on a curve. So, this curve is nothing but a function. We know that when we plot a function on graph, it becomes a curve, and technically these things, these points will be called as maximum values and minimum values. So, let us take an example. You all have know, you all know this, if it is a function and this curve is like this, and there is another function which behave like yes, like this. I hope you are able to recognize these curves. Can anyone recognize these curves? Can anyone from my class recognize these curves? All right, so you might be sleeping, but let me recall this concept for you. This is your total product curve and this is your cost curve. So, it can be average cost, marginal cost, depending on how I make the other curve. Why? Because these two costs are related with total cost. Average is the per unit cost and marginal cost is the change in the total cost because of the increase in output. But the thing I want to tell you here, I want to teach you here, is the high points and the low points. So, this is the maximum of total production at this level of output. Maximum production at this level of output. Output is X. And this is minimum of cost or whatever the variable here on the y axis at this point. Let it call x a, this is p a. So, in this application we will learn how to calculate the lowest point. Like if I want to be at, everybody want to operate at the lowest point of its cost curve. कोई नहीं चाहता कि हम एक और आउटपुट को प्रोड्यूस करके अपनी कॉस्ट को बढ़ा दें. जब इतना आउटपुट प्रोड्यूस करके वी कैन अटेन द लोएस्ट कॉस्ट, देन इट इज गुड टू हैव टू वर्क एट दिस. और इफ यू वांट टू इंक्रीज द प्रोडक्शन, then look for other cost, other plant, other machinery, so that you can have in future your average long run average cost curves. Similarly, ऐसा कॉम्बिनेशन मैं यूज करना चाहूंगा जहां पर मेरा टोटल प्रोडक्ट मैक्सिमम हो. तो प्रोड्यूसर्स आर, बिजनेसमैन आर इंटरेस्टेड इन नोइंग एट व्हाट level of x, at what level of that variable which they can control, which will yield them the maximum output and the minimum cost, the maximum utilization of time. So, many times you will find that the business people are concerned with the maximum and minimum values. So, we do it through application of derivatives. How? So, technically speaking, at this, okay, let me maximize my graph again for you so that you can see the bigger picture. I hope you can see the screen. And if it is a curve like this, so this is your total product, and when I derivate this total product, when I derivate it, d by dx of total product will give you marginal product, which is nothing but the slope of total product. So the slope of total product at different level of output is your marginal product. Now we know that at this point the slope is increasing, but after this point the slope started to decline. It means the value of this MP will decline, or we can say that after the slope of MP starts becoming negative, you see at this point your marginal product is going to be maximum. उसके बाद वो नेगेटिव होने लग जाता है. कैसे? यहां से भी जो है नीचे आने वो शुरू हो जाता है. दिस इज द मैक्सिमम एडिशन. उसके बाद टोटल प्रोडक्ट के अंदर एडिशन होना कम हो जाता है. इसका मतलब यहां पर स्लोप ऑफ एमपी का भी कहीं ना कहीं जिक्र होगा, स्लोप ऑफ मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट का भी जिक्र होगा. एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी विल मूव टुवर्ड्स the double derivative. Why double derivative? Because the derivative of total product will give you marginal product, and if you want to get the slope of this marginal product, then you have to derivate the marginal product also. This will give you slope of MP. So in a sense you are calculating the derivatives of this total product 2 times, and what value you get will determine the maximum value or the minimum value of your total product. Now there will be many methods to solve this question, but I will be suggesting you only one method, which is based on the double derivative function. Let me add another page to this. Yes, and we will have a look at one easy question. The question says that there is a function f(x) is equal to 2x cube minus 15x square plus 36x plus 18. And we need to find local maxima and minima of this function. Now let us find the slope of this function. To find the slope of this function, what we will do, we will differentiate f(x) with respect to x, and we will get f dash x as 6x square minus 30x plus 36, and when we simplify this, we will get x square minus 5x plus 6. Now the next step is to put this f dash x यानी कि स्लोप को हम लोग 0 रखेंगे to get the value of x. We keep the slope as 0. At the maximum point you will find it constant. Putting this as 0, what we'll get as we'll make a factor of this in the form of minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. So x minus 2 minus 3 x minus 2. So the factorization will give you x minus 2 and x minus 3. So the value you have here is x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Next step, with this we cannot identify whether the function is maximum at what, minimum at what. So we'll try to find out the slope of the change. Slope of the change, again it means differentiating f dash x, which has already been derivated with respect to x. In this way we can get the slope of the change, where that slope is going. So the f dash x was your x minus 2 and x minus 3. This was the slope f dash x, and when we calculate, okay, let's make it a simple one. First of all, write the f dash x. So where is the f dash x? This one is your f dash x. 6x square minus 30x plus 36. 6x square minus 30x plus 36. So f dash x double dash x will be your 12x minus 30. Now we have two values of x. So we'll try to find out the value of f double dash x at 2 and f double dash x as 3. So put the value of 2 here is what we get? We get 12 into 2 minus 30, and here 12 into 3 minus 30. So this is your minus 6 negative value, and this is your plus 6 a positive value. Now let's interpret it. So minus 6 means it is a negative value. So if your marginal product, the slope of marginal product is below the x axis, it means total product starts declining, और वो तभी डिक्लाइन करता है जब वो अपने मैक्सिमम तक पहुंच जाता है. यानी कि इनिशियली आपका मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट है क्या, एक समझते हैं, स्लोप की बात करते हैं. इट इज स्लोप ऑफ मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट इज द चेंज इन मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट, एंड दैट मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट इज इटसेल्फ अ चेंज in total product. So when marginal product is falling, total product will increase but at a decreasing rate. I hope you are getting my point. If you have ever studied the law of variable proportion, you say if marginal product is increasing, your total product increases at a increasing rate. So we'll study it with reference to any function. So if there is a function f(x) and there its slope f dash x, so when f dash x is increasing, it means the total function will increase at a increasing rate. पहले 2 से बढ़ा तो यहाँ पर 2 ऐड हो जाएगा, अब ये बढ़ रहा है 3 से तो यहाँ पर 3 ऐड हो जाएगा, तो ये बढ़ेगा. और जब ये डिक्रीज होगा, यानी कि 3 से 2 बढ़ा तभी भी 2 बढ़ेगा, 1 बढ़ा तभी भी 1 बढ़ेगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो बढ़ेगा. लेकिन जब ये नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, इसका मतलब टोटल प्रोडक्शन में पिछली बार से कम होना शुरू हो जाएगा, पिछली बार से ज़्यादा डिडक्शन होना शुरू. अब वो ऐड नहीं होगा, इस बार वो माइनस होगा. सो दैट विल गिव यू नेगेटिव वैल्यू टू योर टोटल प्रोडक्ट वैल्यू. So that is how we say that when your marginal product slope becomes negative, it means maximum has already been added to the total, and that is how we convince that this was maximum at this value of x. So that was your interpretation. The value of your function is maximum at x is equal to 2. Value was maximum at x is equal to 2 and value was minimum at x is equal to 3. The logic is same. So this was your increasing function, decreasing function. So we are done with this increasing function and decreasing function. We are done with the local maxima and minima function, and let us move towards some more concepts like average cost and marginal cost. So average cost is nothing but per unit cost, total cost divided by number of units. So you call it as AC. AC is your average cost, total cost is TC, and some people write it as C by X. They say total cost or cost you mean the same, so we'll write it as C by X. And when we say about what is marginal cost, that is change in the total cost, change in total cost but with respect to x. So change in total cost with respect to x means, change in total cost with respect to x means d by dx of total cost. So this will give you your marginal cost, and people write it as d by dx of c. So dc by dx will be your change in marginal cost. And many times the examiner will ask you to prove the previous theorems, like when marginal cost falls, average cost falls, but marginal cost is below average cost, and when average cost rises, marginal cost rises but at a faster level than the average cost. So it intersects the average cost curve at the minimum level of average cost. So we'll study these things in the upcoming sessions, and now I want you guys to do some practice on these. After this we will move towards the relationship between average cost and the marginal cost curves. So I am winding up this lecture at this moment, and I expect you guys to practice as much as you can so that we can move ahead with this calculus session. Why? Because once you understand the differentiation, it becomes easy for you to understand the integration and the application of integration. Then we will learn about the partial differentiation, other forms of applications of differentiation. So that is how your application of differentiation and rules of differentiation are going to help you in your upcoming lectures. Thank you so much. Let's move towards the attendance session.